Playoff hopes, division battles, the kind of moments that send every Lions fan's heart pounding. From Ford Field roaring down to the icy tailgates that make us tough as Detroit steel. But beneath all that grit and fire we've seen in recent years, there's this gnawing question. Are the Lions ready to stop reliving the ghosts of Barry Sanders' early exit and Calvin Johnson's sudden retirement? Can Detroit finally pull off what the Packers, Vikings, and Bears always seem to find a way to do? Win when it counts the most? Or will hesitation in key moments condemn this team to another season of what-ifs, the kind that sting worse than any L in the division? Every snap, every contract negotiation, every coaching decision pulses through the city like a heartbeat. And right now, the NFC North is tightening. Every team circling like hunters sensing the weakness in Detroit's armor. This is Lions News Fan Report, your source screaming the truth in Honolulu blue, bringing the pulse of Detroit from tailgate to touchdown. Because if you bleed Lions orange and always fight to the final whistle, you know this isn't just another season. It's OUR season. So strap in, hit that subscribe button, and get loud as we break down the news that could just tip the scales in this brutal division. Frank Ragnow is unretiring and coming back. Yes, you heard that right. The cornerstone, the heart of Detroit's offensive line, is suiting up again. Confirmed by Ian Rapoport, it's official. Ragnow's days off the field are over, and he's on a fast track back. Adam Schefter weighs in. Next Thursday's showdown against the Cowboys might be too soon. But December 14th against the Rams looks like the real return date, giving Ragnow time to regain form and strength. This reversal is stunning. Just weeks ago, head coach Dan Campbell put the kibosh on any comeback with a blunt, "That ship has sailed." But things have changed fast. The deal-breaker deadline to come off the reserve retired list was today. Miss it, and Ragnow would have been sidelined for the season. Luckily for Detroit, he pulled the trigger in time. At just 29 years old, Ragnow is no rookie flash in the pan. Taken in the first round back in 2018, he quickly cemented himself as an anchor for this Lions roster after an $11.7 million base rookie deal that included a fifth-year option worth nearly $13 million guaranteed for the 2022 season. The Lions locked him in with a massive four-year, $52 million extension in 2021. Crowning him the highest-paid center in the NFL. That speaks volumes about how vital Detroit sees him, and rightfully so. In 2024, Ragnow was an Ironman for the Lions, starting all 16 games and earning a Pro Football Focus grade as the No. 2 center league-wide. Nearly 100 career starts and 3 second-team All-Pro nods underline how much the Lions had depended on his elite protection and leadership in the trenches. Why the sudden change of heart? The Lions' offense, guided by Dan Campbell and O.C. Ben Johnson, thrives on physicality, discipline, and play reliability. Ragnow's presence stabilizes the line in a way no other player can. Without him, the Lions took risks inexperienced depth had to step up, and the domino effect showed in some shaky games and crucial missed protections. Now, adding Ragnow back could immediately elevate Detroit's run game and keep Jared Goff upright against the fierce pass rushes of the Packers and Vikings. It's a punch to the gut for guards and backups who thought they'd lock down starting reps. But that's just how football works. Only the best rise, and Ragnow's the best Detroit's had in years at center. This move could tip the balance in a fiercely competitive NFC North, where every edge counts and rival defenses circle like wolves smelling weakness. Ford Field knows what it means when a key piece like Ragnow comes back. It's not just a player returning. It's a symbol of hope, toughness, and refusal to quit a line of scrimmage general who embodies everything this team stands for. If Detroit wants to not only make the playoffs, but survive those playoff battles, locking down an elite center gives them a weapon. It's a testimony to the Lions' resilience and ambition after tearing through last year's playoff surge and showing the league they're no longer pushovers. The scarcity of elite offensive linemen in football means that Ragnow's return is like finding gold in a mine thought exhausted. The Packers and Vikings will be sweating bullets, knowing the Lions just doubled down on their offensive front. Tailgate chatter will be buzzing with one thing. Did we just dodge a bullet on offensive line chaos? Detroit fans know the sting of falling apart at the worst moments. Remember 0-16, the endless suffering and heartbreak. Ragnow's comeback could be the reset we needed. But the real question, can he still carry the weight of this offensive line? Can he bring that all-pro form back with the same ferocity? And how will his return disrupt the current depth chart, the young guys who have to step up in his absence? More importantly, how will this shift Detroit's playoff trajectory in a ruthless division where Packers and Vikings are hungry for supremacy? If you've got that Honolulu blue blood, get ready to roar louder. Ragnow's return signals a new chapter one that could finally see Detroit stop the clock on fading dreams and start writing a new legacy. But Lions fans, we want to hear from you. Does Ragnow's comeback make Detroit a legitimate NFC North contender? Or is this just another cruel twist in the saga? How does this reshape the offense heading into the stretch run? The NFC North is no joke anymore, and the Lions just dialed up a game-changing move. Now it's on Detroit to prove that this isn't another false dawn. This is Lions News Fan Report. Stay locked, stay loud, and keep that confidence raw and real. We're still chasing that moment where seasons don't end in heartbreak but in glory. Let's see if Frank Ragnow will be the missing piece that finally turns the tide. Lions fans, hold on to your tailgate chairs, because what if this isn't the end of the shockwave? What if this is just the opening act for something even bigger rocking Detroit's foundations? The moment Ragnow confirmed he's coming back, whispers across Ford Field and the league started brewing. Could this move ignite a Lions playoff run that finally silences decades of heartbreak? Or are we setting ourselves up for another gut punch because rival teams, especially the Packers and Vikings, aren't backing down? The NFC North is tightening, every opponent circling like predators smelling weakness, and Detroit's line just got a shot of adrenaline. Meanwhile, the front office's move to pull Ragnow from retirement could spark a ripple effect of chaos if they're eyeing a deep playoff push or just desperately patching leaks in a sinking ship. The question then becomes, how does this alter the roster? Just weeks ago, Dan Campbell said Ragnow's comeback ship had sailed. But now the Lions' biggest anchor, the guy who's been the heartbeat of our line, has suddenly become the centerpiece again. And it's not just fluff. Ragnow's $52 million extension, making him the NFL's highest paid center, wasn't handed out lightly. It was a signal that Detroit prioritizes stability up front. Now, with his return, the run game gets a serious boost. Jared Goff's protection solidifies, and suddenly those shaky moments in close games might tilt in Detroit's favor, and that's where the real heat is. The ripple effects stretch beyond just the line. This forces young guards to sit or jump into battles they weren't ready for. And veterans who thought their starting roles were cemented could see a reshuffle that could either make or break this season's trajectory. But if Ragnow still has that all-pro fire, if his bet on the Lions could ignite a resurgence, they've just opened the door to competing for the division crown. Think about it. This move could either be the keystone that finally pushes Detroit over the hump, or a gamble that leaves the entire offense exposed. The NFC North defenses will sweat, knowing that the Motor City just doubled down on their biggest line upgrade. Will the others answer back? Chicago's rebuilding, but division rivals are fierce, and teams like Green Bay and Minnesota are nothing if not relentless. Historically, Lions season endings have been marred by mental lapses, but this could be the reset we've waited for. Yet, the real test lies ahead. Can Ragnow's ferocity and leadership come back in a way that's almost instinctual? Will he be the polarizing piece that finally makes Detroit a true contender instead of just a playoff hopeful? And at the looming deadline next Thursday's showdown against the Cowboys or the December 14th rematch with the Rams, one has to wonder, is this the push that turns the tide? Or too little, too late? The same questions echo across the locker room. Does this move rally the troops? Or does it create fractures in the chemistry? If history teaches us anything, it's that Detroit doesn't get second chances, so the window is now. But how wide? Could this be the start of a Detroit dynasty or the death knell of our playoff dreams? The clock is ticking, and every player and coach feels it. This moment defines everything. Are we merely patching in hope, or is this Detroit's era finally cresting? The answer hangs in the balance, and Lions fans are strapped in for the ride. Because if Ragnow can revive his elite form, if this offensive line can gel, then we really might be watching the dawn of something legendary, or we'll be haunted by what-ifs once again. And if the front office rolls the dice now, all bets are on whether this saga ends in glory or heartbreak. The pressure's mounting, the stakes are gnarly, and the Lions are sprinting towards destiny. This isn't just about one player, one game, or one division. It's about rewriting the narrative that's bound Detroit to the shadows of past failures. And believe me, I've seen enough seasons end in tears to know this could be the year we finally shatter the curse, unless the gamble backfires. Then we're right back where we started, with the ghosts of Sanders and Johnson still lurking in the darkness. But one thing's clear, Lions Nation, it's time to fight like never before. Because if we don't, who will? Ford Field's roar is waiting. Are we ready to finally make history, or keep telling the same story of what could have been? This is the moment, and this is our season time to lean in, hold nothing back. And let's see if Detroit can turn this bold move into a legacy rewrite.